The Israeli Attorney General has told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that he must fire a key cabinet ally. This follows yesterday's ruling by the Supreme Court that Aryeh Deri cannot serve as Interior and Health Minister due to the fact he's been convicted recently of tax evasion. Well, it's not clear whether or not Netanyahu is going to abide by this ruling. Well, let's get some more analysis, and we can speak to Yossi Mekelberg, who is an Associate Fellow on the Middle East North Africa Program at Chatham House in London. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Do you think Netanyahu can ignore the Supreme Court and ignore the Attorney General?
Good evening. I don't think he can ignore. At the end of the day, this will be a coup, ignoring the High Court of Justice. But let's remind our viewers, 10 out of 11 of the judges voted to disqualify Minister Aryeh Deri from becoming a minister. They already changed the law for him just a few weeks ago to allow him, because he was sentenced already by a court. So now the High Court says no, he should be disqualified because in many ways he's a persistent offender. It's not the first time. He already served time in jail 20 years ago for corruption. For Netanyahu actually to ignore the law is nothing short of a coup. However, what they might do is try to change the law in a way to bring Aryeh Deri back.
I mean, this is not the only example of a battle between Netanyahu's government and Israel's legal system. I mean, it's a brewing battle by the looks of things. It's putting Israel on a pretty dangerous course, isn't it?
Israeli democracy is in real danger. It's more fragile than ever. And what we see is a demarcation line, the battle lines between the progressive forces there that want a liberal democracy and those who want Hungarian Polish-style democracy, that see democracy is having a vote, and if the people vote for a certain party, then in between election they can do whatever they like with the constitutional arrangements and change them in a way that, who knows, might not be next election. They attack the free media, they attack the High Court of Justice. There is an attack on law enforcement in Israel. And the reason for that is the Prime Minister himself. Let's not forget. He himself is indicted and is defended right now in 3 cases of corruption, very serious cases of corruption. Another minister, he was convicted already in supporting racism and terrorism. This is the kind of government that Israel has right now, and this is the result that 100,000 people took to the streets on last Saturday.
Tell us a bit more about the man at the centre of this latest battle between Netanyahu and the courts. His name is Aryeh Deri. You've mentioned already the fact that he had a conviction on more than one occasion. I mean, is he remotely suitable, in your opinion, as Interior and Health Minister?
Obviously, if you look at his convictions in the past, he should have been disqualified long time ago. And again, one of the reasons that the High Court of Justice decided what he decided is because Deri only a few months ago, when he reached a plea bargain with the court, with the magistrates, he promised never to be back in power. And he just broke this. Aryeh Deri is the leader of Shas, which is a Sephardi ultra-Orthodox. He's qualified also as a rabbi. Unfortunately, on one hand, he's probably one of the more astute and capable and competent politicians in Israel, but at the same time, there is a dark side to him. And as a rabbi, maybe not only he should abide by the law, he should, but also by the 10 commandments. And I think some of the commandments he misses there.
I mean, just lastly, I mean, you mentioned that protest last weekend. Yeah. As you know, people in Israel take stock of these unusual goings-on, shall we say? I mean, what is public opinion like right now in Israel at this really new brand of Netanyahu leadership?
I think it's a new government, and the fact if the first demonstration attracted probably 5, 7, 8,000 people. The next one probably anything between 80 to 100,000. So I think it starts to sink in that what is happening is not just the gender. And Netanyahu and those who support him won the election. There is no doubt about it. There is no effort to delegitimize the election themselves. But the question is, when they won the election, what they are trying to do is not legitimate, because what they are trying is to destroy the checks and balances, the separation of power, and give the politician power over the courts. And that's the question. And I think as it sinks in, more and more people that will understand what does it mean to their liberties in a matter of months or years. What does it mean in terms of the power to police, to the military, how it's going to affect the relation with the Palestinians and the region and the international community. I think some of them at least will think again and see where it leads Israel.
Okay, well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Yossi Mekelberg at Chatham House. Thank you very much indeed.